Alright everyone, chapter 4 of the JoJolands is here, and it is amazing. This chapter saw the main gang fully and finally interact with Rohan after being able to stop the string that the cat created. Dragona, Paco, and Usagi directly confronted Rohan, with a bit of a fight going on and some weird stuff occurring. The main thing to talk about is the diamond. Throughout the chapter, the diamond seemed to have a mind of its own, as it suddenly moved places like constantly. First, the diamond just escaped Paco's bag somehow, like it was a zipped up bag. It's very, very strange. Also, at the end of the chapter, the diamond somehow slips from Dragona's hands, even though he had it inside of his hands the entire time. Like you could see right here, it was fully grasped and it somehow slipped through his hands. So there's some very strange stuff going on. What this could possibly be is hard to say, but there have been some whispering about this thing being a potential rock animal or rock insect. I'm just going to say that that literally makes zero sense, and this is why. So this cannot be a rock species, as those are silicon-based life forms, and this diamond, well, all diamonds are carbon-based, just like humans and most other things. So this could possibly be the standability of someone else or anything new, really. Let's just hope that whatever Araki is cooking will end up being fantastic. A big part of speculation regarding the chapter was how our gang was going to deal with the cat's standability, which was the string wrapping around their limbs. And this is really interesting because it's quite cool to see. Both Dragona and Paco were able to use their standabilities in pretty unorthodox ways in order to get out of the situation. Dragona used smooth operators to get his thumb under his wrist, which then caused him to easily slide off the string from his hands. Meanwhile, Paco was able to vibrate his muscles around where the string wrapped around, so that the scissor blade that he had previously would cut the string through all the vibrations. It's quite the interesting way of beating the cat's stand, even if it's possibly temporary. I didn't expect it to end so soon though. Like, I genuinely expected maybe another chapter of dealing with the string shenanigans with the cat and all that, but I do enjoy these mini fights on fights that Araki has been doing in these monthly manga era parts. Like, you know, Steel Ball Run had a few and JoJolands has a few, and now we're seeing these really small fights in JoJolands as well. They're all pretty nice to see every now and then, and I do like that style, honestly. Alright, in this chapter we saw a really cool reference. Like, just look at this panel right here. This is JoJolands making a reference to one of the greatest panels in all of JoJo, that being the one with Jotaro and Dio walking towards each other. Look at this. It's basically a one-to-one copy, with Paco as Jotaro and Rohan as Dio. I wonder why Araki did this, but it really makes me excited for what the rest of JoJolands could contain, since Araki really could just jam-pack it with references. I mean, Rohan Kishibe is literally in this series, like he's staying here. It's going to be amazing for us JoJolands readers, especially the ones who are really big fans of JoJo's, such as the 13.8% of my audience subscribe to my channel. Personally, I'm hoping to see some JoJolian references so that there could be more people who read JoJolian. It's very sad to see, but regarding Rohan, there is a lot to talk about. First of all, Rohan keeps the exact same stand, Heaven's Door. This was something that us JoJolands fans have been discussing for the past 3 months. Whether or not Rohan has the same stand, or if he has a completely new one. And here he is. Rohan has Heaven's Door, making Rohan a universal constant with Heaven's Door. But even though Rohan has the same stand as his original universe self, I think this chapter, funny enough, disproves the idea that this is the exact same Rohan Kishibe from Diamond is Unbreakable. The main reason for this is because look at the fact that Rohan literally says the name Dragona Joestar, which is a name that he should be familiar with at this point. He knows of Joseph Joestar, and he knows that Jotaro and Josuke are in the Joestar family. Despite all of this, Rohan doesn't seem to care about Dragona having the last name Joestar here. No passing note on the Joestar name or anything like that. So this would be a Rohan who didn't talk to any of the previous Joestars, which means there is no connection to the original universe or anything like that with Rohan, or I guess the part in general. This is a completely new Rohan who just so happens to have the exact same name, the exact same design, and the exact same stand. And even a very similar personality, it seems to be. Yeah, nice going, Araki. Thank you for that. And speaking of which, I think it's safe to say at this point that Rohan doesn't need to show the person a drawing in order to use his ability on another person. It looks like he could just use Heaven's Door on literally anyone. This was something we've supposedly seen in the spoke Kishibe Rohan for the past few years. Maybe a bit more than the past few years, but So this is like 100% confirmation that Rohan can use Heaven's Door on anyone. Dragona, Pako, and Usagi didn't even know who Rohan Kishibe was or what he did. He was just a complete stranger to them, as well as the fact that this is a main JoJo part. So it's quite clear that the three of them haven't seen any of Rohan's drawings at all. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that Rohan's ability has no limitations now. Isn't that great? However, this all does mean that their secrets have been revealed. I think it's really important to talk about the fact that Rohan literally knows everything right now. He knows about Jodio, Dragona, Pako, and Usagi. Not only that, but he knows that they want the diamond and that they're only here to get a share of the money. Most dangerous of all of this is that Rohan knows the identity of Meryl Mei-chi, and this could be disastrous because Meryl Mei-chi is definitely not happy about the fact that spending decades of her life hiding in the shadows just for a single heist to possibly tear it all down, if she knows of this information, things could go down. The next chapter, no, not even, the whole series could turn many directions depending on Rohan's actions in the future of this part. Even in these few chapters, Rohan knows all the secrets of their business. But do you want to know another character's secret? Well, check out this video then, since it's pretty cool.